we'll take these little victories and move on.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story.
All right, guys, I'm back in the garage playing with the Tacoma project, and I picked up the other axle seal I needed and got that installed, got my unit bearing installed on the driver's side of the axle. And now I'm going to attempt to put together the Yukon lockouts that I have for the axle. So these are the Yukon part number 29083, which is specific to the 9904 Super Duty axle utilizing the 35 spline Yukon outers. So I did a Google search trying to find installation instructions for these. Came up empty-handed. The instructions that were in my kit are for different axle, Dana 30, Dana 44, and GM 8.5. I don't have any of those, and none of the pieces that are in these look similar to what came in my kit. So I think I'm kind of winging it. I came up empty-handed searching it. So I'm going to attempt to do this installation without any instructions. And I wish me luck. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I've separated it out into two sides, two sections. So I've got the actual like lockout turning knob piece with the outer ring, which looks like some sort of retainer ring, assuming that goes into that, and bolts, and there's some washers, Allen bolts and washers for that. We have a snap ring here, which I would venture has to go on this lip out here to keep that locked, the part that the bolts go into. I'm assuming that has to go behind that to keep it from popping off the front. So this gear assembly came pre-assembled, kind of like it is. And then you got some sort of a spacer and some sort of another snap ring here, which there is a snap ring groove on the shaft down in there. So, but what the orientation of all this stuff is, I'm not quite sure. So I grabbed a magnet and I actually made a little tool because this little like hook on the end there, because I already pushed the gear in there and went, and then I couldn't get it out. So I had to make this little like hook tool to pull it out. So yeah, I'm going to play with the components for a minute, kind of utilize the instructions that I did get with it for the Dana 44. I'm guessing the general orientation of most of these components is going to be similar, and see what I can come up with. All right, so the nearest I can figure, and man, I hope I'm right, because it's going to really stink to try and get it out of there if I'm not. But there's this little small ring, and I think that goes on the groove that's in the axle shaft towards the back. There's a groove. I believe that goes there, and then the spacer goes on after that. Most of the ones that I can find, then the spring goes, and then kind of the gear assembly that came kind of put together goes on, and then there's the outer ring that'll go on the outside here, and then the bolt retainer plate, then that outer ring. Yeah. So anyway, it looks like it's going to be kind of the art of holding everything together. And I guess I'm probably going to go ahead and just grease it all before I put it together. I thought about doing like a dry run, but then if I do have to take it back apart, I don't know. I'm not sure which way to go. All right, and you can see the snap ring is in there. It is kind of a spiral ring, I guess I would call it. You can see the multiple layers there. You can see the beginning and the end. What a pain. Like, you got to kind of start the one edge and keep working it around until you got the whole thing on the splines, and then just kept taking a screwdriver and going around pushing it in until I got it locked into place. And I'm praying that's where it goes, because if I got to take it back out of there, my life is really going to suck. But, yeah. So next, again, just kind of looking at the way that the other ones all go. It looks like this spacer collar then slides into there, and then the giant coil spring would go on, and then the gear set. So I'm feeling kind of confident. I think we're going to grease this baby up, see if we can get it pushed in there, and hope for the best. All right, well, don't make fun of me because I haven't done a side yet. Like, this isn't rehearsed. I'm not practiced up. So, all right, that's there. Got my grease. Let's see if we can grease this thing up. Get back, get back. Oliver wants to try and help me. But he doesn't realize that he's not much help. Okay, so I think we did it right. I hope we did it right. I feel good about it, so I guess there's something, right? I mean, go with your gut. It feels like we did the right thing. The snap ring is installed all the way out. We got everything greased properly. So now, I mean, I feel like that's the thing. It's going to push in. Should lock and unlock. It feels like it's doing the appropriate thing according to, you know, the way my Toyota ones work and stuff. So let's do the next step, which is putting together this outer lockout piece. So I just want to put some grease around this outer seal, O-ring. We try to make everything operate as smoothly as possible. So we'll just grease this up a little bit. And we will also be, there's O-ring for the mounting surface here where it goes on the outside. So we'll grease that O-ring as well. And also we're gonna wanna grease the cogs and stuff here for the engagement of these little fingers for the engagement. So let's see if this functions. Okay, we'll snap in, feel good. I'm guessing that's gonna go there. We'll line this up. Install a screw. Got our 5/32 Allen wrench, which seems to fit the screw just good. This is a much more lower profile lockout as compared to the OEM Super Duty lockout that I knocked off of these things. Man, that thing was like 2.5 inches out or something compared to this, which is probably like a 1/2 inch thick. Much sleeker design. Should be well protected inside the wheel. So let's snug these up without going too crazy. Not that you can get super tight with this little tiny Allen wrench, and you shouldn't need to, honestly. The action that's happening inside there isn't anything that's going to be crazy worried about how tight this is, honestly. Should be just fine. So, okay. Get the excess grease off of things. So it does make me feel good that this moves pretty easy. This being the free position, and my axle shaft is not spinning. Locked position. Oh yeah, it engages right away, and my axle shaft is spinning. So we did it right, guys. Back to free position and unlocked. Perfect. Excellent. That is very cool. Very cool. So, we won. Now I got to do the other side. But I won't bore you with that. We'll take these little victories and move on. All right. Let's see if we can have the same luck on the other side. This side's got the wheel bolted to it, so, but it shouldn't matter. I didn't need to move anything, so yeah. We'll get that cleaned up and grease that stuff, put it together.